You like coffee or are you a tea person?
It depends on the time of the day, but
Right,
usually in the morning it's tea, but later on during the day it's coffee.
right. So, how are you spending your days in this lockdown time?
So currently, I've been spending a lot of time in things which I would have always loved to do, but I would have never got a chance to do. So especially things like
Right.
focusing on a bit of on health, spending time with children and family. These have been compromised for years and years and years. This lockdown has really given all of us an opportunity to really, rethink and come out of that. So, quite frankly, I mean, yoga is one of the things which I really wanted to do for years and I couldn't do, but I almost every day I've been, doing yoga at least 2 times a day, which has been phenomenal. I mean, the feeling that I have is much different. I spend a lot of time with my family, having lunch and dinner with them, watching a movie or a serial in the evening. And while I do all of these, I in fact am able to spend more time on work. So a lot of planning, a lot of strategy building, rethinking on our fundamentals of what we are doing in the business and how can we improve. A lot of defining of the roles and key of the key people. So those are some major things that we have taken through in this lockdown
Okay.
period. Yep.
What do you think? How do you think diamonds are going to fare after COVID-19 is behind us? Do you think diamonds are still going to be relevant and desirable?
Vijaya, to answer your question, I think it will be even more relevant and desirable than in the past. To understand, diamond has never been. People have not bought crystal of carbon. That is not what people buy. Diamond has never been a product for a function. Idea of diamond is always a lot of emotional thing that you have in your mind. It's a symbol of a lot of emotional values, and that becomes extremely more important in the times post COVID. The other thing that I also want to mention is it's also a store of value. So again, that has a lot of relevance as well, especially with what has happened with all of us across the globe, and all of us want something to be something to rely on, right? In these crises, something that is more serious in terms of financial asset.
Right. Okay. So, what do you think are some of the most immediate concerns for diamandaires at this point?
I think the first and foremost concern for most of the diamond fraternity is what is going to happen post COVID, and
Yeah.
majorly 2 points. One is will we get enough orders? Number one. If we do, or even if we don't get enough orders, will the price sustain?
Yeah.
Right. And even if the price sustains, assuming both the scenarios are still reasonably good enough, then the next point comes is will we get enough supplies? So these are the things I think most of the diamonders are having in their minds. And honestly, there is no clear answers to any of these questions. There is nobody has a crystal ball.
Yeah.
My judgment is that, as I said, the immediate effect will be a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. That the customers will try to put a pressure on the price. The suppliers probably will have to somewhere compromise and get the cycles moving on.
Yeah.
But over a period of time, demand will probably catch up. Probably the supply won't be able to catch up. That's my understanding because I think the biggest issue is with the factories. Yeah, we'll have a lot of issues with workers coming back to work, and then still there will be so much of issues with the regulations of the social distancing. The
Yeah.
factory will not come back to its full potential, full strength for a reasonable period of time.
Diamond pricing. This has been like a hot topic ever since this lockdown started, and it's always been a matter of speculation, so to speak. What do you think the real issue is with diamond pricing?
Pricing of diamond is principally governed by the actual demand and the actual supply of the diamond.
Mm.
Realistically, diamond doesn't have any issue in the prices. Now let's understand the consumer price and the trade price. So what happens is the trade is very sensitive. So if you get information that suddenly there is a spike in demand in a certain category somewhere in the world, the trade reacts to it in a much more sensitive way than the consumption. And so does the reverse situation also happens. So sometimes the consumption may go down by 5 or 10%, I'm just giving an example, but the trade may react it to a level of maybe 30% or a 40%. So that is where the problem is, and suddenly there is a lot of discussions and talks going on, and that creates that vicious cycle. But all that within the trade, not for the masses at large. But would a very high level brand having a store or a product brand change the price so dramatically for its consumer? It wouldn't. There are some referential price lists that people refer to. To name a few, it's Rappaport, IDAX, and suddenly when these guys bring a change, people react to that as if it's a major change that has occurred. But quite frankly, for a few weeks, the change would have already happened in the market, and these guys would have just reflected that change. I think that's where the problem is, that our dependency on such referential price lists has become so much, especially from
Yeah.
the trade, and that
Yeah.
is creating these issues of pricing that we are referring to.
Okay. The other thing is now a lot of people have suddenly become very active, like diamond trading platforms existing, which existed before, they are very active now. And then World Federation of Diamond Horses has now introduced its own platform. But what do you think are some of the important factors one should keep in mind while creating a benchmark price?
Diamond as a product is a complex product. It's not very simple like gold. There are various parameters, so that makes this process a little bit more complicated. Now the problem is to have again such a referential price list is very basic, and the problem is that every item would have a different discount. So one product could be 30% discount from the price list. Another product just next to it could be 40% discount from the price list. The real benchmarking of pricing is not a referential price list, but is the transactional price list. Now, to get into that kind of a system, I think the first thing we need to understand is we need to position the product, and that can only happen by individual industry players. I can position my company's product, another company can position their company's product. Positioning is very important, and
Yeah.
the company needs to set up a price for
Yeah.
its own product.
This is like a this is like a situation that you've never faced before. I mean, we've all
Right.
faced crises before in the past, but this kind of situation we've never seen before. So, what are some of the key leadership takeaways for you?
All diamonders, we really need to self introspect ourselves. That diamond, why would a consumer buy diamonds? I think we all need to question that. Everybody within the trade as well. I think many times what happens is the trade feels that it's the responsibility, especially the manufacturers, feels that it's the responsibility of the retailers to
Yeah.
check the consumers' issues and whatever experiences and all that. But it's not that. So we all have to get together to really
Yes.
create that consumer experience. As Divine Solitaires, we have specifically found our area, which is more towards emotions and asset value. Any kind of natural diamond, uh, especially the natural diamond products, will be more inclined towards the emotions and the asset value, and that is where it will remain more relevant. The emotion and the asset value can only come out of natural diamond, and that too especially with the solitaire diamond category. We have found that that niche is extremely important,
Yeah.
and that is going to be very much relevant, especially the post this pandemic, because but people will value relationships much more post post this period. So I think this is a very big, I think the takeaway especially is that we should all, we all need to find our own niches, our own USPs, and this is the time you can do that. Believe me, once you are, all once things open up, you don't have time to do such things.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. You enjoy your coffee. Hopefully, we'll meet in the real world soon.
Absolutely, Vijeta. It was wonderful talking to you. I think it
Yes.
was a great time, and you too take care.
Yeah.
Stay safe, and all the best.